Hello students, welcome to class 10 English. Dear students, let me give an introduction to the chapter. All of us love our country, but some believe only soldiers and politicians are people who can directly build the nation. But even simple man can contribute to strengthen the country. We will study about one great person who brought veritable changes in the society. He was an eminent jurist, a politician, a social reformer who campaigned against social discrimination, setting equal status and rights for Dalits, women and laborers. Let us learn about one great personality in the chapter, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. This lesson is all about Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar, popularly called as Baba Sahib. He was born in Mahar family on 14th April 1891 in Ambawade village, Ratnagiri district. Let's know about the author. The author of this lesson is Sri R. Venkataraman. He was a lawyer, independence activist, and politician. He served as Union Minister of our country and he was also the 8th President of India. He has written a message to a commemorative volume of the book Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, The Man and His Message. Students, as I explained, you need to refer to the textbook, page number 68. In the first paragraph, it describes Ambedkar as a voracious reader. What exactly is voracious? Who is very eager for knowledge. Throughout his life, he was a voracious reader and he had insatiable thirst for books. That means which couldn't be satisfied. He was never satisfied of reading books. And how he used to buy books? He bought books by curtailing his daily needs. Curtailing is you cut off your daily needs. The expenses what you spend for the daily needs, you cut off from that and he used to buy books. And it was said that in New York, he purchased around 2000 old books. And during the time of second roundtable conference held in London, he brought so many books that had to be sent to India in 32 boxes. How Ambedkar was influenced by the great person Mahatma Phule, we will know in this paragraph. See, Ambedkar, here one major influence on Ambedkar was that while he was influenced a great deal by the 14th Amendment of Constitution of USA because it gave freedom to the black Americans. And he found the similar situation in our country among the depressed classes. He was greatly influenced by the life and work of Mahatma Phule because he worked for a classless society and women's upliftment. Now, Ambedkar decided to devote all his time and talents for the amelioration of his underprivileged brethren. That means he wanted to make the situation more better, so he tried to work towards it. For this reason, he started few newspapers such as Mukanayak, Bahishkrit Bharat and Samata, which represented the voice of the depressed classes. And institutions also were set up by him such as Hitakarini Sabha and Independent Labour Party. This became the vehicles of changes. During the same time, Gandhiji was also pioneering his epic reform of Indian society, which included the upliftment of depressed classes whom Gandhiji called as Harijans. Influence of Mahatma Phule on Ambedkar. Ambedkar could visualize the parallel of the situation of depressed classes in India while he was in USA he was drawn to the 14th amendment of the Constitution of USA which gave freedom to the black Americans. He saw the same kind of situation in India among the depressed classes. And when he returned back, he was greatly influenced by the life and work of Mahatma Phule towards the watery, classless society and women's upliftment. Engaging himself towards it, he started newspapers like Mukanayak, Bahishkrit Bharat and Samata. And these became the voices of the depressed classes. Likewise, he set up institutions such as Hitakarini Sabha and the Independent Labour Party of India, which became the vehicle of changes. And Gandhiji was also pioneering his epic reform of Indian society, which included the upliftment of depressed classes at that time. Why was Ambedkar asked to serve as the chairman of the Constitution Drafting Committee? Let us learn in paragraph 3rd and 4th. As per the Act of 1935, Ambedkar contested the elections and got elected to Bombay Legislative Assembly. His flair for legislative work was seen when he was made the chairman of drafting committee in the Constituent Assembly. So what was done? His flair, his ability towards the legislative work, legislative assembly made him give an opportunity to be the chairman of the Constitution Drafting Committee. Being the chairman of the drafting committee, let us see what great work was done by him. Drawing from the examples and experiences of other nations and distinctive needs of our own society, he raised brick by brick the magnificent edifice. The edifice is the system which now stands as fundamental rights in the Constitution of India. Now what we call as fundamental rights, all those were the great achievements done by Ambedkar. Along with other luminaries, it was not only Ambedkar, he had other people to support him. Other great persons were Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, K.M. Munshi, N. Gopalaswamy Iyengar. Along with these people, he made vital contributions to the constitution. With the help of B.N. Rao, he was able to explain complicated legal concepts to layman in a simple language. In a very simple language, he has explained it to the common man, all the complicated with difficult concepts, legal concepts. So such was the contribution of Ambedkar by being a chairman of drafting committee. Constitution as a fundamental document. Dr. Ambedkar had a clear perception of the mutuality of the three pillars of the state. He had the ability to see about the mutuality of the three pillars, that is the state, about the status, the legislature, the executive and the judiciary. And at the same time, he had a sense of the importance of the role of citizens too. He says that the Constitution is a fundamental document and it is a document which defines the position and power of the three organs of the state. And in fact, the purpose of a constitution is not merely to create the organs of the state but also to limit their authority. The liberty given should be used in such a manner that it shouldn't be misused by the people. So rules and regulations were set in very perfect manner. Dr. Ambedkar as the Law Minister of Independent India. Recognizing Dr. Ambedkar's skill in the field of law and legislation and also a tribute to his vision of social justice, he was chosen as the first Law Minister of Independent India by Jawaharlal Nehru. No one would have dreamt that one born to a Mahar family would one day become not only a law minister but also a lawmaker, and that is the reason why he is known as or called as modern Manu. Equality of opportunities to all citizens. In the 4 decades and more since independence, much progress has been achieved in providing equality of opportunities to the people. And there were no legal bars which exist today for self-expression or self-advancement. The members of the scheduled castes have come up in society and are occupying high offices of state at both center and state levels. So this is the achievement what Ambedkar wanted to do. Ambedkar's work on social discrimination and achievement of social objectives. Much remains to be done on social plans. There is still yet many more work to be done on social plans because the annual reports of the Commissioner for Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes list several violations of the law and several instances where notwithstanding the statute book. Members of the scheduled caste have been discriminated against. Still there are differences found. And then also The discrimination that are still taking place need to be removed. Baba Saheb Ambedkar's work will truly be complete only when social discrimination is completely eliminated from the society. Ambedkar also stressed the importance of constitutional methods to achieve social objectives. Because in an interesting observation, he described that civil disobedience, non-cooperation and satyagraha, he considered it as the grammar of anarchy. He also says that also misdirected and volatile agitations should not be allowed because it results in loss of lives and public property. If people are given liberty to behave as they wish, then it will result in the loss of lives and public property. Views of Ambedkar regarding caste division and veritable revolution in social thought. Around 2500 years ago, Buddha had questioned the caste division in India. He said the only valid divisions are the divisions between those who are noble and wholesome and those who are ignoble and unwholesome. So, even the Tamil poetess Avai had said similarly that there are only two castes in the world, that is charitable and miserly people. But still, caste by virtue of its power structure showed itself to be firmly entrenched. It is still deep rooted in the society. The Britishers practiced divide and rule policy and divided people on the basis of their religion and caste. Gandhiji and Ambedkar tried to remove these distinctions. How did they do this? Gandhiji did so by reminding the higher castes of their duty towards the depressed classes. They wanted to prove that all are equal in the society. Baba Saheb Ambedkar did the same by reminding them of their inherent rights to equality with the higher and more powerful castes. Both did their duties on the same situation, but one stressed the duties, the other stressed the rights together. Doing so, they brought about a veritable revolution in social thought. For the great work done by Ambedkar, he is considered as a symbol of revolt. When Baba Saheb Ambedkar passed away in December 1956, Nehru made a reference to it in Lok Sabha, appreciating his persistence, perseverance, and not to allow people to become complacent about giving rights to oppressed class. Ambedkar was a champion of the depressed and oppressed classes in India. A day may come when his dream of Samata may become a reality. Though India lost a great person on that day, but still the rights of the citizens were stressed in the Indian Constitution. Thus, by becoming a chairman of the Constitution Drafting Committee, Ambedkar is remembered as a symbol of revolt forever.